Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well today. I'm just setting up my camera. That's not gonna work. There, this looks pretty good. Let's see what happens when I come stand up. Put my arms up, lose my hands a little bit, but that's probably the best it's gonna get. Maybe I could give, no, I'm gonna leave it like that. So I want to start standing and moving this morning. And good morning, Paul. I want to start standing and moving this morning because it's a little bit chilly out here. Just a little bit, and I'm not complaining because it's been way too hot. So starting with a little bit of movement, and maybe we'll wind down or something a little cooler towards the end of practice, a little more relaxing towards the end of practice. So I want to start standing at the front of the mat. Face forward. You can turn your toes in just a little bit and then lift and lower your toes. Lift and lower your heels. Lift the toes again, spread them wide so you got some space between each toe, and then lay them down. Lengthen up through the crown of your head and give your shoulders a couple of rolls. Hands can stay at your hips or maybe come to your heart. And we'll have 3 breaths to begin practice. Take this moment to settle into your practice, to set an intention for today. Set an intention for your practice and for this day ahead. Maybe it's going to be the same thing. One more full cycle of breath. And then on your next inhale, open your eyes, sweep your hands down, around, and up. Big stretch up. As you exhale, soften your knees, forward fold. Inhale, soften your knees even more, and a slow spinal roll up. Hands up. As you exhale, arc to the right. So your right hand can come to your right hip, or it can take your left hand and draw it over a little bit more. So your knuckles are pulling to the right. Bump your hips in it to the left. So you're getting a big stretch in the left side of your body. You can even take a big breath in and press the rib cage out. And then come up and over the other way. Just like a big good morning stretch. Maybe you've got a yawn that's coming as well. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees. Let's come all the way up to stand. Another big reach up. And exhale, soften the knees. Come down to dangle. So you can hold opposite elbows, or maybe let your fingertips drop to the floor. Maybe hold the nape of your neck, like interlace your fingers around the nape of your neck. Up to you here. Sway as much as you like. Maybe big or maybe small. Then bring your fingertips to the mat. If you have a block and you want to use it, that's fine too. Bring your left hand, so it's right under your nose. Start to straighten through your right leg till it feels straight. It doesn't have to, you don't have to lock the knee out or anything like that, but just make it feel straight. So you're getting a stretch across the back of the leg. Soften your left leg like a lot. Turn your chest to the right, reaching your right hand up to the sky. You could look up if you like here. Just like a twist in your forward fold. And then let's soften both knees. Replace your right hand with your left, or your left hand with your right. Put your right hand down. Straighten the left leg, bend deeply into the right, and lift that right hand up towards the sky. Full cycle of breath here. And then let's unwind from this. Soften your knees and come all the way up to stand. Hand up if that feels good. And then let's exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, soften the knees, bring your fingertips to the mat, and bring your right foot back to the back of the mat. Settle down onto your right knee. And just let your hips sink forward and down. Big inhale here. And move around a little bit. Move your hips, look over each shoulder. And from here, find a hamstring stretch, slide your hips back. Straighten through the left leg. Again, maybe you're locking it out. Maybe it's still got quite a bend in it. What's interesting to me is that you feel a stretch in the back of your left leg. Stay here for a breath. And then let's move back to the lunge. Plant your hands. Curl your right toes under, lift that right knee. And I want to step back to downward facing dog. So let's draw your left foot back to meet the right. Feet are hip width apart. You can move around any way that feels good for you here. Swing your hips, shake your head. Inhale to lift your heels, bend your knees, find your way to a tabletop pose. Couple of cat-cows here. Sinking the belly, rolling the shoulders back, chest forward, and then rounding the spine, tucking the chin. Couple more times, just really feeling the movement through the length of the spine. I love these poses first thing in the morning. Start moving the spine, helps move energy around the body. So just really feel the length of the spine as you make your way through these. Now, next inhale, find a neutral spine and walk your knees back a few inches so that you are in a kneeling plank. Take a big breath in here. As you exhale, lower to the mat. 3 cobras here. So top of the feet are going to press into the mat. Elbows pull in and back towards the back of the mat. Lift your chest, cobra pose. Now note here, I only come up as high as I would if I could lift my hands and float my hands up off the mat. So you can test that. So it's more a back strengthener. We don't want to put too much weight in the hands. On your exhale, roll back down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. So your hands are there just to give you a little bit of support and balance, but we're not pressing into them. Last time, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale up to table or plank. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right heel up and back, big stretch. And then as you exhale, right foot comes forward between the hands and lower the left knee. Again, stay here in your lunge for a moment. Swing your hips around. Look over opposite shoulders. Maybe tuck your chin to your throat, let your head sway. Anything that feels good here. And then when you're ready, you can find that hamstring stretch, straightening through the right leg, rounding down over the right leg. Now, of course, if you're looking for some more sensation that you're just not getting here, like if you're super flexy, and some people wake up stiff in the morning. Other people's muscles are really relaxed when they wake up in the morning, and they're really they're at their most flexible. If you're looking for more sensation, you can start sliding your heel forward or sit back over your left leg. I'm happy just like this. Thought I'd throw some options up there. Let's find our way back to our lunge. Curl the back toes under, lift the left knee, and this time let's step the left foot forward to meet the right. Inhaling into a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up to stand, hands up, look up. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees, fingertips to the mat. Step your left foot back to the back of the mat. Sink your left knee down onto the mat. And let's bring the left palm down. Turn your chest to the right so you're facing the inner right knee. And reach your right hand to the ceiling. Just a nice, easy stretch here. Maybe wave your right arm around. Or if you like, you can take the back of your right hand, bring it towards your left hip bone. Left outer hip, left hip bone. Really roll that right shoulder back. You're almost turning your chest up to the ceiling now. You can look back to the wall behind you or look up to the ceiling. Notice if you're dumping your weight into your left shoulder and your ear is right squished up to your left shoulder. Lift up out of that. One more breath. Maybe take a breath in, reach up. As you exhale, right hand down. Lift the left knee and let's step back to downward facing dog. This time we're going to inhale forward to plank pose and exhale all the way to the mat. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, release. Now you can repeat cobra pose or you can reach hands back. Just extend the fingertips towards the wall behind you, palms face each other and lift. Exhale to release. One of the first two ways are maybe interlace the fingers and lift, press your knuckles back, maybe lift the heels. Stay here for a breath wherever you are. Next exhale, come down. Inhale, table or plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left heel lifts. Exhale, the left foot comes forward between the hands. Lower your right knee down onto the mat. Start to take your easy twist here. So you got your right hand planted, turn your chest to the left. Left hand can lift. Maybe you want to work into that shoulder a little bit. Start moving your hands around, like maybe make a figure 8 or circles. And just let your left hand fall back behind you. If you like, the back of your left hand can come towards your right hip, your right outer hip. Really rolling the left shoulder back. Bringing your gaze back behind you. Let's unwind from this. Left hand down. And bring your right foot forward to meet the left. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Soften your knees and let's come all the way up to stand. Hands up. But the crown of the head's going to stay high this time. Bring your big toes together. Heels slightly apart, just like at the beginning of practice. We're going to start to bend into the knees, sliding the hips back and down, back and down. Biceps stay next to the ears, thumbs reaching up, palms facing one another, and fingers spread wide. Turn your tailbone down, with your core engaged, and sink a little deeper. Nice big breath in. Bring your hands straight forward from your shoulders. And then as you exhale, sweep your right hand back behind you, turning your chest to the right. Exhale, right hand forward. Or that doesn't inhale. Exhale to the left. Inhale, forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, soften the knees. Fingertips to the mat. Let's step the right foot back to the back of the mat. Lower the right heel. Left knee's over the left ankle. Reach out into your right foot and press it actively down into the mat. Pull the low belly, the low ribs in, and bring your hands to your hips. From here, we can draw the shoulders up over the hips. Press evenly into both your feet and feel like you're lifting your right arch of your foot. Draw the right hip forward and then thumbs at your sides, zip up the sides of your body and lift as you move the thumbs up. Reaching the hands up overhead, palms face one another. Big breath in. Now you can stay here just like this in Warrior One, or you can take your hands, interlace the fingers, and release the first finger towards the ceiling. Bring your gaze up to your the heel of your hand. So you're getting a little bit of a back bend, but don't forget to keep bending deeply into the right knee. One more big breath in. You can separate the hands, but keep your gaze locked on your right thumbnail. And as you exhale, come down, but keep your gaze on that right thumbnail. Find your way through plank to lower halfway or all the way down. So choice this time. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And roll over your feet, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Full cycle of breath here. Inhale to lift the heels, bend the knees. As you exhale, you can make your way forward to the front of the mat. You can hop, step, or maybe take a little jump. Halfway lift, nice flat back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Forward fold. Soften the knees, fingertips to the mat. Step your left foot back to the back of the mat. Lower the left heel. So your left toes are pointing up at the front left corner of your mat. Notice if your hips are sliding out to the right. Pull that right outer hip back in towards the center so your ankle, your knee, and your hip are all in the same plane. Press evenly into both your feet as you bring your hands to your hips. Pull the low belly, the low ribs in, And lift your shoulders up over your hips. Make any little adjustments you like here so that you feel super comfortable in this pose. Zip your thumbs up the side, lift the rib cage, lift the chest, lift the crown of the head, lift the hands. Full cycle of breath here. Now, if you like, you can interlace the fingers, bring the gaze up to the heel of your hands. Release your fingers towards the ceiling. You can get your grip the other way this time, the way with the weird finger on top, just to change things up a little bit. Keep bending deeply into the right knee. Next inhale, separate the hands, but keep your gaze on that left thumbnail. And as you exhale, lock that gaze onto your left thumbnail. Come all the way down. Inhale to plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left heels lift, bend the knees. As you exhale, bring your feet to the front of the mat. Halfway lift, forward fold. Fingertips to the mat, outside your pinky toes. Soften your knees, slide your hips back and down. Reach the hands forward, biceps next to the ears, and then lift your chest till you're in chair pose again. Make sure you lengthen the low back so that your core engages. Bring your hands forward from your shoulders. Keep that low back long. Nice big breath in here. As you exhale, sweep the left arm towards the back of the mat, turning the chest to the left. Inhale, hands forward. Exhale, right hand back. Inhale, hands forward. Exhale, hands to your hips, sink a little lower. And then inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, I want to just make our way to a downward facing dog. We haven't spent very much time actually in down dog today. Just pedal your feet out, maybe move around, walk your feet wide, sway, shake your head, bring your feet back in, and then let's inhale to lift the right heel up and back. As you exhale, bend the knee, and then stack your right hip over the left. So your right knee's pointing at the ceiling. Your right foot's dangling outside your left hip. Maybe make a couple of circles with your right foot. And then inhale to extend. Exhale, right foot comes forward between the hands. This time we're going to come up to a crescent lunge. So stand the ball of the left foot, hands to your hips, and then shoulders over the hips. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, warrior two. So lower the right heel. Right hand forward, left hand back. Stay deep in the right knee. Pivot around on your feet. Get comfortable here. Lift the rib cage up and away from your hips, but stay deep in the right knee. And now let's reverse the warrior. Drop the left hand really lightly to your left thigh and reach your right hand up and back. Just a big stretch. And then as you exhale, extended side angle. So right elbow to the right knee or fingertips to the floor or block inside your right foot. Left hand can reach up, or you can bring your left hand to your outer right hip. Like we're aiming for the hip crease. You can tuck your fingers in there, or you can just leave it dangling. This is a half bind. If you want, you can try the full bind. Take your right hand, slide it underneath your right thigh, and see if your hands meet. Bring your gaze down to your right foot or up to the ceiling. It's a lot here. Take a breath. If your hands don't meet, no big deal. Right hand down, left hand down next to the right so they're both inside your right foot. Lift the left heel. Bring your right hand around till you're back into your runner's lunge. I want to just take a moment, start to bring your weight into your right foot. Walk your hands forward, maybe even off your mat, and lift your left heel. So we're at a supported warrior 3. Press back through that left heel. Hands can stay on the mat or come to your hips or your heart. You could reach them forward if you like. I'm going to end up in a plant if I do that. One more breath in and out. Soften your standing leg and put your left foot down next to your right. Come all the way up to stand. Right leg's tired, but we'll do the left leg now. Forward fold. We're making our way back to our downward facing dog. Soften the knees, hands to the mat. Step back to down dog. Inhale, the left heel lifts. As you exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Keep the shoulders level. Point and flex your left toes or make some circles with the ankle. Inhale to extend the left heel up and back. As you exhale, left foot comes forward. Inhale, come all the way up to your crescent lunge. Take your time. Don't let me rush you through the transitions. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale to reverse. Big stretch up and back. And then exhale, extended side angle. Left elbow to left knee or fingertips to the floor. I have my right hand reaching straight up today. You can stay like this or sweep your right hand back towards your left hip crease. Either wedge it in there or keep it dangling. And if you like, you can try the bind. So you can take the left hand, slide it underneath your left hip, and see if maybe your hands can reach, your fingertips can reach. Stay deep in the left knee. Take a full cycle of breath. Left hand comes down. Right hand comes down. Lift the left heel, right heel. Sorry. Bring your hands around so you're in your runner's lunge. Hands framing the front foot and then start to walk your hands forward. I'm going to actually move back a little bit on my mat because I'm too far forward and I'm going to end up in that plant. Walk the hands forward. Bring your weight into your left foot. Lift the right heel. Stay here just like this. Or you can bring your hands to your hips or your heart or reach them overhead. Full cycle of breath. When you're ready, right foot stamps down next to the left. And we come up to stand. Hands to your heart. Take a breath here. Take a moment. Take a sip of whatever you've got in your cup next to your mat. And then bring the toes wide. The heels in. And we're coming down to a seat, but we might as well come down through a low squat. Elbows inside your knees. You can be active here with a nice flat back, or you can be passive, rounding down. We'll do one more breath whatever you've decided to do. And then, when you're ready, make your way to a comfortable seat. So you can do that by putting your hands down on the mat and lowering yourself, or you can Interlace your fingers, reach your knuckles forward, and reach forward to counterbalance that sit down. For some of us, it's a little heavier than others. Ankles together, knees wide. Once again, hinging forward with a nice flat back for an active forward fold in cobbler's pose, or tucking the chin and rounding the spine. Up to you. Depends on what your, recall your intention for this practice and choose an option that works with that. And begin to look into your feet a little bit. Just another breath here. And if you want, you can always take an active pose and then sort of turn it into a passive pose when you're done with your mouth there. As long as it feels good, that's what we're after. Now let's come up to sit. Nice tall spine. Use your hands, help your knees in. We're going to come down onto our backs. So tuck your chin and roll your spine down onto the mat. You can bring knees into the chest. Any last movement you like here before Savasana, you can go for it. I'm going to take an easy twist. Maybe you want to do legs up or happy baby or plow, or maybe you just want to go right into Savasana. Maybe you're like, yeah, I'm done. So whatever feels good here. Or maybe you want to just stretch. It doesn't really have a name. It's not a proper pose that you learn somewhere. It just feels good. Then you should go for it with that for sure. And then when you're ready, make your way into your Savasana pose. Now remember, Savasana is normally cued as corpse pose, lying flat out on the mat. But that doesn't feel good for everybody. It certainly doesn't feel good for me. So feel free to bend knees, lie on your sides, sit up, lie on your front. Just move around till you find something that feels good for you. Till you're in a place where you can feel completely and fully relaxed. Reconnect in with your intention for this practice, for this day ahead. Maybe if you were going to put any tension in your body at all, it would be a little small smile. A small smile with the satisfaction of having got up this morning and practiced yoga first thing. And then when you're ready to be moving again, which don't let me hurry you. If you've got more time, flip off your computer or your phone, or just ignore me. But if you are ready, first start stretching out through your body. And then bring your knees into your chest. Take your time. Stretch. And then hug. And then from here, you can find your way up to a comfortable seat. Now, if you felt rushed at all throughout practice, I apologize for that, but please take your time through this portion of the practice and move at your own pace. Let your body and yourself be the leader. Once you're seated, look for a tall, straight spine. Maybe look left and right. Move your shoulders. Work out any last little kinks or sticky spots in your body. Big breath in to reach hands up. Maybe peace fingers to the sky. Prana mudra for energy. And then as you exhale, hands, thumbs to the third eye, and we'll hinge forward. Here's our final pose for today. I thank you for being here with me. Namaste. And please, I hope you have an amazing day ahead of you. Please, before you go, just drop me a note in the comments. Let me know what you felt about this practice. If there's anything that you'd like to see in future practices, ideas from you guys are always welcome. And I'll see you next week. Namaste.